Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Tiffany, and my husband and I are the owners of Creative Designs by Tiffany, a flower shop and event space located in upstate New York. I hope this podcast plants some seeds, gets you thinking, and opens up a conversation of why we're truly here on planet Earth. Thanks for continuing the journey with me. God bless. I love that. That's a scroller now, right?
It could be scrolling, but you tend to talk fast.
Oh, so you were rolling it for me.
I was rolling it a little bit for you,
awesome.
faster.
That's awesome. So today's podcast, I have, I'm going to read, I told you before, I was going to read what I have for the little write-up.
You could have put that on there, too.
Well, no, this is going to be the special after when the podcast launches. You could put it on the website, all that.
All right.
So today's podcast is a special podcast for me because I have one of the coolest guests. My guest today is Cody Connor, and if you're local, you've probably heard of him through the years. I was going to say a standout athlete. Were you a standout athlete, would you say?
Nope.
No, okay, so I'm good. I didn't put that then. I put a stand-up guy. When you hear his name, everyone says, oh yeah, we love him. I asked him to be my guest this week, and I wasn't really sure why. Perhaps it was because him and his fiancée, Jessica, have launched a new Airbnb within the last couple months, right?
Yep, September.
Yeah, something like that. But through our conversations prepping for today's talk, it seemed to be evident why, quote unquote. So I hope you enjoy this podcast of faith and testimony from an everyday local guy like you and me. Be blessed. So that's going to be the little write-up. So now we just got to match that, right?
Yeah,
what we're talking
good.
about. So, like I said, I didn't know why I reached out to you and stuff. We have a mutual friend, Karen Bipley. We'll give her a shout out. She did tell me she's going to listen to this one too. She's never listened to any of my podcasts either. So anyway, she had always talked about you doing some music and stuff, right? So I didn't know everything that was happening with you over these past few months, few years even. I think you might have come to like a daddy-daughter dance at the store.
Yes,
that was,
yes.
And then through the years and stuff, like I said, you hear the name and everyone's like, oh, he's a great guy, but I didn't really know there was so much going on in your life. So getting you into the music, we'll start there to start with and then kind of backtrack if that works for you. So the music is basically, it's AI. Explain that to me now. It's AI finished?
AI generated. Yes.
Okay.
So I write the lyrics.
Okay.
I basically formulate the song.
Okay.
And then you throw it in the app. You pick whatever genre you feel like, and then you add the
awesome.
title, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
Like it's cool to see that you're writing, which sometimes you question. You're like, oh, I hear it in my head, but no one else can hear that.
Right.
You know, so it's nice to write it down and then hear it back, and you could be like, hey, Ma, this is what I've been writing about. Like, finally, you could see exactly what, you know, goes on in my head and how I hear it.
That's awesome.
Because I can't sing and I can't play music, so you just end up
butchering right?
You butcher it anyway.
Yes.
But it's hard. I think when you look at songs, you could read them, but you'll never get the true feeling of it, you know?
Yep. No, I get it. Well, that's what I was like. It was interesting to me because I don't know anything. I don't sing like you. It's the same thing. I don't sing. So I'm like, oh, you hear music and stuff. But like to actually write the lyrics, which is what I'm gathering here is what you do. And then you pop it into the app or whatever it is. And then it makes the music for you and stuff too, which is so cool. So it's really like your heart of writing, right?
Yeah.
So that's really neat. So tell me, how did you get into that though? What kind of led you to that point?
So I've always written. I've always loved writing.
Awesome.
I think it's been my escape.
Yeah.
And for years, I lost that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know. Maybe I worked in prison for a while, and you see a lot of the individuals in there. They're writing and rapping and doing different things, and I think it's their way of expressing themselves. You know, they're locked up.
Yeah.
Well, we're also locked up when we're in there, and I just kind of had some breakdown moments, and you sit at my desk, and I have nothing but time, you know, so I just start writing. Awesome. And then, you know, you kind of go over it with some people that you work with, and you talk about things, and it's gotten to the point now where it's like I literally wrote a song today.
That's awesome.
Before 8:30 in the morning.
That's
like
amazing.
it's crazy. I don't know what's happening, what's going on, but
that's so
Tiffany,
cool.
It's just
you know what I've been doing for
do.
6 months.
I do.
Exactly what he's doing.
I do.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so what got me into it was my friend Jesse Sibley. I actually wrote a song, Too Ashamed to Speak, or Oh my God, I have so many of them.
I was going to say, I creeped the Facebook creep of your Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many songs. It's not just a 1, 2, 3, 4 different ones. But the thing that I wanted to highlight too is that it's your writing. That's so, if you sat down and you wrote books and books and books and books of it, that would be all of your writing, which is cool. I forget that because I'm not into that stuff. So
no, so this one, which one is it? Oh my gosh. Either way, Jesse Sibley, a friend of mine who I used to work with, he saw what I wrote, and behind my back, not even knowing, like in a good way, like he ended up putting a couple lines in there and then threw it into an app, and I'm like, holy cow.
That's
like
cool.
I this is the first time I ever saw it.
That's awesome.
You know, so then after that, I was like, okay, now I really see that what I'm writing can actually be something.
Yeah.
And I just started going from there. And now, a year later, it's gone to a different level.
Awesome.
I can't stop.
That's awesome. So the thing, obviously, that I've been kind of highlighting on my podcast is the faith portion, right? Mm-hmm. So, and when I saw that, and like I told you, Karen had kind of been like, "Oh, you got to listen," but we were busy for like the past year, and it's like, "Yeah, I'll get to it," and so I never really like sat down and listened or read anything either, because sometimes you'll post like some of the lyrics and stuff, and so when I read that, I was like, what is going on, right? Because like I could talk about, God's great and it's beautiful outside and Christmas is coming and all of that, but there's a depth to it that I was like, what has been going on in your life? Because the funny story that I told you when we were texting about this is I said there was like one night that they had like this quote unquote camp party, and these 3 huge guys in my tiny Corolla are squished back in because they needed a designated driver, and I was like, so those are the pictures that like everybody goes through, and that's kind of what you remember. So I was like, what's happening though that like now all of a sudden you're writing about God or your faith or your story? So can you kind of tell us a little bit about how you got into writing about that instead of just, the lizards on the street or something like that?
Yeah. So I think it started at a young age. I remember writing a lot, like poems and things that I thought were songs, like my daughter does now. It's so cool. Awesome. And I think you always are looking at like, what's the hot songs out there? Oh, you want to be Mr. Popular and like write the coolest country song or whatever. For around here, country music's huge.
Yep.
And I think once I kind of shut that off and stopped trying to write something cool, and I let my heart speak and God speak to me, it's been something like I've never experienced. And it's hard for me to even put into words, speaking it, like how wild it is right now. Like
that's awesome.
God's just talking to me and I'm just writing it down, and I feel like I can't ignore it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So can you tell me a little bit too about how you started listening to God a little bit more, or like what was your inspiration to be like, I have to write for what God's giving me, or all of that? Can you get into it a little bit?
Yeah. So I broke down, hit my knees, was in corrections at the time and was going through a lot mentally. A lot happened in my life just throughout my childhood, and just there's a lot of things that just went on, and I just kind of hit the end of the road. And I was very suicidal, like suicidal tendencies, ideation, but never, I don't know if, looking back, I don't know if I would have ever done it.
Yeah.
But I don't take it lightly. My family were noticing things, my friends, I'll never forget, like my brother-in-law, reached out to me and reached out to somebody else, and I started speaking to this guy, and then my buddy Brandon coming to my house, and I remember I was just laying in bed, and I knew he was there, but I was pretending to sleep. And it gets me messed up, but, he comes over me, and I just start feeling the tears on my cheek, He's like, just don't do this, You've lost some people. But it's just real stuff, just life and being in there. You're working in the prison, and it's where the devil lives.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the job's terrible. The state does not take care of you.
Yeah.
On either side.
Yeah.
It's just a terrible place to be. And I think what kind of started it all was I broke down. I've written about this testimony, the parts of it for, in quite a few of the songs, just random lines. But it all started in the prison when I had the time. I was working the overnights to try to make it so I can get my kids more, just because, I wouldn't sleep that much. I would just try to stay up and write. And that was my time. Yeah. Like, as weird as it is, I found God in the darkest places,
What happens, yeah.
And then I broke down on a lake one day. It just started screaming. I mean, and all of a sudden words just started coming to me, like more and more and more and more. And it hasn't let up. It let up for a little while, and now it's just been... Awesome. It's been just crazy.
That's awesome. That is very cool. Well, and I'll backtrack if you don't mind, and we'll talk to that too. So, like that moment, people don't necessarily work in the prisons, and I can't even imagine that, just the mental toll that it takes on you. But is someone in that situation, like, you're a real person, like, and so, your friends, how did you kind of get out of it and realize, all right, there's more to do? Sorry, that was my phone again.
That's right.
There's more to do and stuff, and, look forward, I guess. So could you talk to someone that might listen and think that way?
So I ended up, I'm kind of jumping all over, but I ended up going to rehab.
Okay,
for mental health. I ended up going down to Maryland. It's like a first responder rehab, and was there for 31 days. It was the hardest thing I ever did, but the best thing I ever did. Yep. When I got home, it was rough. I thought I was like changed, and I tell you what, I didn't even know who I was. Yeah. So that messed me up. But just little by little, step by step, you meet people, you go to seminars, and you find these resources, and you have people that you could talk to all over the world, like all over the state. If I'm down, I can call this guy. Yeah. If I'm down, I can call this person. It's just like, that's been huge, and I've been able to help people along the way, and that's been meaningful. I think where all of this ties in is that if this is a way that I could help someone, I think this is all that I need to do. Yep. And this is what I want to do. Never thought that I'd be speaking on a podcast or anything like that, but I'm just going to do what God's kind of leading me to do at this point. And
that's awesome.
Thankfully, the reason I'm here at this point is because of people getting me out, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and things just happened. Yeah. So.
Well, the thing I noticed too, a lot of times I've had a couple of singer-songwriters that come on, and it's the best songs sometimes are written for that relatability. And when you think of it, someone who just listens to music like me, like the best songs that I love are the ones that I can relate to, Mm-hmm. So if you're talking about, an ex-boyfriend in college or whatever, you're like, oh, I get it. Like, I totally get it. So with your music, it's people, I think, get it, and more so than, the local tie that you have here too. I bet deep down somewhere that's like striking, no pun intended, but striking a chord with people, that it's your voice and like, wait a minute, I feel the same way too. Mm-hmm. So I think that's freeing too, and being able to talk to people and be real about it, honestly, because for the past however long it's been, you have all this inside, and no one hears it unless you put music to it or the AI generated stuff. So that's really, really cool. So you're thinking outside of your box, and someone else that you can help. Have you had any encounters with people that they're like, man, we love this music. Like, we get it. Like you hit the nail on the head. Have you had that experience yet? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people give compliments, and I'm super thankful for that. I post them on Facebook. I get comments. I get some shares, and it's nice. It's nice to see sometimes where somebody will message you out of nowhere. Yeah. Just be like, I hope this means a lot. Yeah. Or you'll read a comment, and you could tell that it was very meaningful to them, where they could relate. If anybody even just says that, oh my God, I can relate to this. That's awesome. That means a lot in itself right there. Yep. Go back to what you were asking. Sorry, I was.
No, that's all right. I go on rabbit trails too. That's where I'm like, it's always fun on a podcast, and then everybody's along for the ride.
Yeah.
So,
As far as like, sorry, you were
No, go
saying, has anybody like reached out? So, yeah, I asked her if I could like announce her name, but there's a girl, Rachel
Yes.
Demery, or
Yes.
last name is, I can't remember her.
I remember Rachel too, and I was going to bring that up, and I forgot before we started. And I was like, "Oh, once you start recording, you can't really edit that part out." So I'm glad you brought that up. But that was something you shared when we were talking about this. So Rachel has reached out, and she's going to start singing, or her and her sister maybe, or explain a little bit more.
So Elena, her sister, reached out.
Okay, yep.
And I guess they were like kind of hesitating on reaching out, and I'm like, no, like thank God, this is what I've been praying for. Like, are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
Like, how cool is that? And so they reached out, and she just like I did a little demo of the one song you wrote, and if you like it and are interested, I'd like to sing a couple of your songs.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, absolutely. So I'm trying to encourage her, like. Take your time. Like, this could be, you come to find out, like, you've been wanting to find somebody that could write, and I've been wanting to find somebody that can, like, sing.
Awesome.
So, like, you don't know. Like, it's just wild. I just say there's no rush. Like, just when you're ready and you feel it in your heart to do it, like, let it all out and feel it.
Yeah.
Feel those words. If you've been there, feel it.
Yep.
Take it all in. So that is probably one of the most meaningful compliments that I've been like looking for.
That's really cool.
My daughter Jamie, my little girls, like they've cried to some of the stuff I've written. Like that stuff it's deep. It hits some real deep parts of your.
Well, and they know, right? Because they've kind of seen the product of like how it comes to be too. So that's really, really neat. Yeah. So how long have you been writing for? That's, like I said, about a year ago, Karen had mentioned it, but I wasn't sure. Has this been a few years or?
Sporadically, it's been like, for my whole life, but nothing. Like I've written 21 songs in the last year.
I was going to say, how many have you written overall? Do you have an idea or?
I've never really saved any of that. So, I mean,
more than 21.
Handful here and there, but it's just, I don't know what it was. It was May 29th of last year is when I had my moment. Yeah. On Stewart's Landing in a kayak.
Hey, there you go. Stratford, that's where I live. So that's awesome.
I'm not kidding. Like that was from that moment. I mean, I'll tell you the story, but it just, from that day on, it's been nonstop.
Yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool. So do you have a favorite song or can you not pick one?
I don't know, because I feel like they keep getting deeper and deeper as I go. At first it was like, my favorite one I think was I Believe, and then it was I've Been Fighting Jesus, and now it's like, what one? Show Me the Way. The one I wrote today is actually, it's called The Last Prayer, which is meaningful, but almost like super sad. Like it's basically, I had a vision this morning of, I don't know why, but it was like if I were to say my last prayer, right? Or if somebody else, was to have their last prayer and what they would say to God before they left. So it's just, that was today. And then Too Ashamed to Speak, that's a big one. Yep. So Too Ashamed to Speak would probably be my favorite.
Okay.
Like one really shows my testimony, all these demons inside me.
Awesome. So for the end, we'll go back and recap that. But everything is on a Facebook, or do you have it all kind of compiled on even a YouTube or anything, or is it an app? Or how do people find all the music in succession? Or
so all my writings I just keep on my phone because that's kind of, you always got your phone on you. Yeah. So I'm just constantly tapping stuff down. So that's on my phone, and then I have recorded some of them on the AI app.
Okay. Yep.
Which are like for me. And then I lost the other one because I broke my phone, but luckily they were posted on my Facebook.
Okay.
So I still had those. And then right now, I've just been posting on Facebook.
That's awesome. So with Rachel and her sister Elena singing, then what does that kind of look like? Or have you guys even thought about it yet? Or
No, I don't even know. So Elena's not singing. It's just Rachel.
Okay.
But I think it's just for both of us. It's just kind of that cool thing. Like, hey, God kind of
put it together,
brought this together, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Her voice is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was, brought me to tears. I got the chills when I heard her singing it.
That's awesome.
So it's nice to see, like, this isn't generated.
You're right. Right.
This is a human being that's actually singing this song from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, that's awesome.
It's pretty wild.
That is cool. So this is something that I had mentioned to you too. And so I've had different podcast guests on that are from out of the area, but I think I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like you're kind of the same way that I am. Like I love our area, and I'm like almost jealous in a way for it, that I want them to like, be thriving and everything like that. But even more so, like, it's important. Like, it's so cool for me to see you and like loving God and doing what he wants you to do, doing these songs. And even though like some people say this all the time, but like, you stumble sometimes and you got to keep going. But overall, the messaging is that like, it's exciting for me because it's great to see in this area.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit maybe about being, I'm not even sure where you live now at this point, but are you close to this? Obviously, kind of pretty close to this area. Yeah. So, like, what would you want to say to anybody listening locally? Like, just this is the coolest thing, I think, right?
It is
like,
the coolest thing, and I think like, so I'm in Little Falls now, but like where our Airbnb is, it's in Dowsville.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's called the Hillside at Diamond Falls.
Yep.
And we like to say where heaven meets the hilltop.
That's awesome.
It's absolutely, or where heaven meets the hillside.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous, the whole area. The valley, I think there's something super special about Little Falls.
Yep.
I mean, you go down the thruway and you're not going to find a better place,
Yep.
just super welcoming, small town roots, just super relaxed and a lot of stuff going on. Yep. The Herkimer Diamonds that's just kind of blowing up. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But the people, the people and the love and connections in this area.
Yeah.
It's just super strong.
Yeah, you can't beat it. So that'll kind of tie into your Airbnb, right? So what made you decide to make it an Airbnb and not just let it go or, whatever, even live there and stuff? How did you decide to make it an Airbnb?
Well, this woman, Jessica, came into my life.
All the good ideas come from a woman. I didn't say that, but knock on wood.
No, but it opened my eyes,
Yeah.
Her house, super close to her heart and her family's heart. Yep. Her grandfather built her house, my house, 5 generations, my daughters, to grow up there. So we knew that we didn't want to live in 2 separate places. So we kind of just talked and I think we prayed on it at times, like, what should we do?
Yeah.
And all this, I think it was more of God than anything that just, we started an Airbnb and we're like, let's do it. So we dumped a bunch of money into the house and I want people to be able to come here. Yeah. Right. And experience what I've experienced. Yeah. There's something about that hillside that to me, I go there and it's something new every time, and I've lived there my whole life.
That's awesome.
Jessica's fallen in love with it. A lot of history there. Yeah. And it's beautiful just outside of Little Falls. Yeah. And I think if you see it, you'll understand. Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool that you get to share it with people. That's the really nice thing too. So have you had a lot of out of state visitors or more people like that you kind of already know, or how has that kind of gone for you? I don't know much about Airbnb. I just know we use it when we go to Florida.
So we've had people, I think, from South Carolina, from New Hampshire, Connecticut.
You guys haven't been open very long, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It hasn't been years and years that you've had. Yeah, it's been pretty recent.
Yeah,
so.
we started in September, actually. A friend of ours got a hold of us and was like, is your Airbnb open? And we're like, no, it's open, this week. But were willing to, open it up.
Yeah, yeah.
So we actually were able to open it up sooner, and then, we've had some bookings. It's
awesome.
It's super nice. It's exciting because I think we take a lot of pride in it.
Yeah.
We want to make people feel like right at home.
Yeah.
And super special. We're trying to think of just different unique ways of opening the house up, not just for like
That's cool.
people staying for a couple of days, like even for just events, like paint and sip. Or,
I was going to say, I saw something with cookies. Is that something I saw? And that's awesome. That is very cool. So it's almost like a community hub, but in a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool.
I've also, on the faith-based side of it, I've mentioned to some guys that are in my group, like maybe a men's group or a women's group, Bible study.
Yep.
I've thought about things. I try to post things on Facebook, but even with this writing, maybe where you can meet up and write songs, have like a worship weekend or something. Like it just little things. I just try to think outside the box where I could utilize that home.
Yeah.
We could utilize that home for people, to just have great connections.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And want to come here.
That is very cool. Well, that's what I like about Airbnbs too, is that it's a small, like it's not a hotel, and honestly, I don't even know if we have a hotel now anymore in Little Falls, so there's really nowhere to stay anymore.
Yes, we do.
We do. Do they?
Roadway Inn. Yeah.
Do they have people that stay there?
Yeah.
Oh,
just
I
put $1
didn't know
million
so.
bucks into it, renovating it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's that. But if you want a smaller, more intimate venue, that go the Airbnb way.
Sorry to kill that.
I didn't quite realize that, but that's why I have a producer, so he corrects me on what I don't know about. So, but anyway, no, that's really, really neat. So I'll open it up now for you. So no pressure here. I feel like we've talked a little bit here now, and hopefully you're pretty comfortable on the mic, and maybe one day you'll start singing. I don't know. Well,
God's got to bless me in a different way there. That's not happening. I have about probably 300 recordings on my phone, and every time it makes me sick. Because that's how I write, though. I write
the voice memos.
I don't write like all these demons inside me, and my mind's so alive. I write it by singing it, and that's how I understand it.
Yep.
And that's how I write. I don't write them like I'm writing an article.
Right.
So I have to listen to myself, and it's terrible.
It's amazing. The reality of it, the total reality. Yeah. Well, it's got to be messy to be good sometimes, right? So that's great. But I'll open it up now. Like I said, I think you're all right with this now. Do you have anything that you want to say? Like just roll, whatever you think. Like talk about the 49ers if you want.
49ers? I don't even watch
Nobody
football.
talks about the 49ers. What are you talking
LA
about?
Rams, these guys, these
Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Cowboys.
Yeah, last
too.
second win there.
I've been a Cowboys fan forever, but I think Jerry Jones and Dak, they got to go, though.
Yeah.
No, not Dak. Dak is like leading the league. Come on. No. Listen, stop.
He's a Texan fan. Texas.
When was the last time the Longhorns and the Cowboys won on one weekend? That was
no
this
idea.
weekend.
I don't watch football.
He's writing songs. He doesn't watch football.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
You know what? Have you ever sat there and written a football song at the same time?
Not.
Yeah, I got one for you.
That'll be a new grace for you on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything that you want to say or, share even or.
Just, a lot of things are happening and things that I cannot explain.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me, like why is my mind thinking the way it's thinking, right? Like in my mind, I'm like, it's gotta be God. Like there's no way. Like, is it normal for somebody their brain to, go in circles like this, like all day long where I can't even focus? Yeah. Like if I'm driving, Jessica tells me all the time not to go on my phone, but I can't help it. I got to write stuff down.
Those voice memos, though, you keep talking.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just nuts. But I just think a lot of special things have happened since that day that I broke down that I'm super thankful for. And people have talked about those testimonies, and it's true.
Yeah.
But since May 29th, my life has completely flipped.
That's awesome.
I mean, to talk about God and the blessings that he has put on my life. Just for instance, and I don't want to get into it, but I prayed and I cried on those midnight shifts with, no one able to see me in that office in the dark.
Yep.
And, you gotta put on a front like you're not soft like that, but you also can be human.
Yeah.
And I think those moments I was able to really pray and really give it to God. And by doing that, Jessica come in my life, which has been huge. Yeah, choking up. It's been a huge blessing to me. But I prayed about getting out of there. I wanted to get out of that place, and I had 7 years in, and I felt like I was great at it. I took a lot of pride in what I did. It's just one of those jobs. It's hard.
Yeah.
You really do not make a difference in there, no matter how bad you want to.
Yeah.
And I prayed and I prayed, and I ended up getting an opportunity with the job I have now, and saw my buddy at Stewart's, and he's like, "Man, I've been wanting to get you on with me for a long time." I'm like, "For what?" What do you do? Oh, I'm a superintendent of construction, work in Albany. I'm like, why would you want me? I've been out of that for a long time, and I'm telling myself, like, I'm not smart enough to do that. I can't do that. Never even in a million years would I ever go back to construction. But I prayed on it, and I ended up getting the job. But the crazy part about it is that I resigned on December 3rd of last year. And the Marcy incident happened on the 9th.
Nuts. Yeah.
The strike.
Yeah.
And then the other incident that happened.
Yep.
What is that?
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, that's deep stuff that, like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's got to be a reason. And Jessica falling into the picture all in that time.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yep.
Broke down at church, just different things. A lot of things just happened to me. And I don't know, now here we are, a year later, we're engaged, and I've literally written 21 songs since then, since that time in May. And I'm out of the prison, I'm going on 1 year out there in Albany, and it's just, life has just been totally different. It has not been easy because I've been, like, beating myself up this whole time. Like, it was a state job and, state pension and all this stuff. And part of me, like, still misses that. I think the thing I miss the most is just being there for your brothers and sisters and really wanting to make an impact, because my trials and my difficulties, my trauma, and me going to rehab was able to kind of let me be vulnerable enough to be open to the officers I worked with, right, and to try to help them. And I missed that, like, people reaching out to you and or you just checking on somebody, But that's happened since then in different ways, and I'm super thankful for that. Yeah. I think and it comes back to the writing, like, any way that I can make a difference in this world, even if it's just one person, if I can save a life or, say that prayer, or just open that door for that person that needs it, that's all that I want to live for.
Awesome.
So
that's amazing. So I'm going to ask you now, because you're about the same age as I am. So did you ever think when you were 18 years old you'd be here?
No.
No?
In Little Falls, I hope so.
Well, yeah, and maybe a Little Falls, right? We'll keep that.
No, not at all.
So now, would you ever trade your story?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Even in the hard times and everything. Yeah. That's the key part. That I don't know if that's more wisdom as we get older, but I found that too. That I'm like, all the trials, all the tribulations, all the failures, all the setbacks and stuff, and all the good too, even. I wouldn't trade it. And I think that's the nice thing that You figure it out as you get older. So maybe somebody listening, maybe one, I always joke, maybe I have 1 or 2 listeners, I don't know, but 1 or 2 people that listen and they're younger and they're like, crap, and what am I doing? But like, dude, it's gonna be all right, and it all works together for good. That's one of the verses Mr. Donnelly brought up, I think last week too, and it does. I mean, and I'm happy to hear you say it. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, feel it out if you'd say, I might have traded this or this, but like, it's all part of your story, right?
I wouldn't have changed anything. I wouldn't fix anything.
Yep.
I think me going through what I've gone through it's made me a better person. It's made me stronger. It's made me open my eyes and see things differently on both sides. It's also, it's gotten me closer to God.
Yep.
It's brought people in my life that have literally been sent to save me. Like,
that's awesome.
It's just unreal. Like, there's nothing that I would change about it. Are there things that I would have done differently? 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But if I did, would I be here?
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I probably wouldn't have rolled the car a couple years ago and gotten a big scar on my forehead.
It's so funny because when I texted you, I said, and you were like, "Oh, this happened." I was like, "No way!" I had no clue. Like I had literally had no clue. I was like, "I knew you had an Airbnb," and I said that can float the whole conversation. So, but no, that's awesome though. All the things that like come into it, and stuff. So, I think we're almost about time and stuff here, but I want to give you the floor seriously. If you want to say anything and stuff, nobody wants to hear my voice. They want to hear from you. So,
no, I just hope, I'm super thankful and super blessed to be able to come on here. I still am still baffled that you reached out to me over it. But I just want to say, if you have something on your mind, just write it down. Don't hold those demons inside. I know it's easy to say that, but it's not easy to let go and give up and give in. Yeah. But it's a lot better on the other side when you do.
Oh, it is.
So if you just want to, if you have a dream, go chase it. Go do what you want to do. I've wasted so much time, contemplating things and second guessing things, and even now about some of the stuff I post, I'm like, I feel stupid doing that. Just do it. Who cares? Just do it. At the end of the day, God's the one that's gonna have to. You're gonna have to answer to him.
That's it.
Just do what you feel in your heart. Do it.
Yep. Your audience of one. That's what I always think of too. So that's awesome. Well, I'm so happy that you were on today. Can you recap for me real quick though? So Facebook, is it just, I don't even know what the handle is.
I don't even know what my name is on there. Cody James?
Yeah, that works. Is that what it is? So it's Cody James, and then the Airbnb, it does, I know it has a Facebook, but it's on obviously on Airbnb, right, to book it.
It's on Google too.
Okay, so, on Google. So what is it listed as then?
The Hillside at Diamond Falls.
Okay, awesome. And then if people want to reach out to you even directly, on Facebook and stuff, that's I think how I got a hold of you, was on Messenger and stuff. So anybody wants to contact you,
please do.
Good, yeah.
Let's start a conversation.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy that you were on today, and shout out to your fiance over here in the corner here. She's the backing of it over here. So I appreciate you guys coming on here today, and I think hopefully somebody plant some seeds. So thanks again for coming on.
I hope you have us again.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right.